All right, I appreciate you clicking on this video. Like, subscribe, click all the stuff down below. Going to be a fun one today. I'm sure there'll be a lot of comments and back and forth. So stick around, like, subscribe. Appreciate you watching. All right, so today I've got a little bit of a drive. I'm going to feed some deer after work. I thought this would be a good time to talk about my thoughts on the bow drops of 2026. So 2026 bows, what I thought about them, what I score them, how I kind of feel about that bow. And of course there's some bias to this. Some bows I just don't shoot well. So I don't have a lot of enthusiasm for them. But it's just my thoughts, and you leave your thoughts, leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this, because it's just a discussion, but kind of a rating, and it's really more about what did they do to make me go, I got to go buy that bow. So if I had a Mathews Lift X, how do I feel about, is this worth going and upgrading? And then kind of giving an A, B, C, D score on that. And just some pros and cons, some different thoughts on them. So anyway, we'll start off with Bowtech. Bowtech only dropped one bow so far. There's a rumor there's one coming in January. I don't know that to be true, but there is a rumor that one's coming in January. The one they've dropped is kind of a hybrid budget bow. It's like $1,000, the Ascend. It does have the deadlock tech where you can move the cam, I think. They call it light, deadlock light maybe, or something like that. It's $1,000, so it's more than other budget bows like Prime and Darton and even the Mathews Mission. Like, there are other budget bows that are cheaper than that, but this one does have the deadlock system where you can move the cam, so it's pretty neat. But if that's your only bow out right now, I kind of give it a D. I think that's a pretty weak bow drop for 2026. Obviously, you're not going to get rid of last year's flagship to go buy that. That's just my thoughts on that. I'm not a huge Bowtech fan. That the draw on them's always been pretty harsh. The weight of them has been kind of heavy, so I'm not really a Bowtech guy. So that's my caveat. All right, next up, Elite. The Varos has some cool tunability features. The colors are cool. They have a good job of like different colors and camo patterns and stuff. I'm just not a big fan of Elite. I've tried them. I just didn't shoot them good. I don't know if it's the back wall or if it's the grip. I just could never get right with an Elite. I really like their budget bows for like kids, because their draw length range is really big, or at least they were. I don't know if they are anymore, but they were. So I like them for that, but I never got right in one. So for me, it's a C minus, just because I mean, they added a tuning feature. That's really all I know about. And if you know me, if you've watched for a while, tuning features aren't a big deal to me. You use them one time, setting the bow up for that arrow, and then for the most part, I never touch them again. I'm not swapping things out. I'm not moving cams. I'm not having to tune. If you're having to tune that much, you might have an issue with strings or something. I just don't have a big issue with that. I'm sure there will be people in the comments that will let me know how stupid I am for that. That's fine. Let me know down in the comment. Next up, Prime Divide. Now, at first glance, you look at this, and I did the same thing, and I went, it's just the same bow as last year. Like, it's the same. It's kind of the same as the form. Why would I even want to buy this? It's, for the price, it's like $1,700. It's fairly expensive. Couple things. One, there is a little bit that's been done to it. I think they've put some stuff in the tubes. At least I've heard this, and I hear some things here and there that give it a little less vibration, which is good. Supposedly, according to Hacks and Hunts, the back wall is a little firmer. I love the bow. I shot it. It shoots great. I think the draw is a little bit, I hate to say it's a little smoother because it's been a year since I shot the form, but Hacks and Hunt had both. He said that it's smoother. It feels good to me, so I think it is better than it was. I don't remember the last one really thinking that this is a good smooth draw, but this one I definitely feel like smooth. Here's what I think's gonna, and they have a new stand out. They have a stand, which is pretty cool. I like their stand. I like it better than the Hoyt. The Mathews limb legs may be better, but I like it better than the Hoyt legs. Here's what I think is intriguing about Prime. If you are the guy that wants to have a custom bow, you're going to order different colored limbs, different colored riser, cool camo, solid colors. You're going to get any various length of riser, and then you're going to get, camera keeps moving on me, you're going to order different riser lengths, you're going to order different brace heights. You can truly customize this like you want it. I think they are the market for customized bows. I think they are that market right now. And if you're somebody that wants it customized and you're not just going to take whatever's on the shelf, Prime's intriguing. And I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty intrigued by them. I gave them a B-. Obviously, I wish they'd have changed things up a little more. I'm not as critical on them about price as I used to be, because every bow seems like it's that $1,500 mark now, and they're $1,700 or something like that. So they're just a couple hundred more. So they're not that far off, especially to be half carbon hybrid type bow. They're in the ball game. They're not like crazy high. Last year I thought they were pretty high compared to others with the form. This year I can't really complain too much about it, because everything's right at that 1,500 mark, minus some carbon bows that are in that 2,000 mark. But I'm intrigued by the Prime Divide. Darton. So Darton last year I feel like was the #1 like bow. Obviously probably not sales, but like I thought they knocked it out of the park last year. I thought they were the best new bow, if that makes sense, even though I'm sure Mathews outsold them. I thought they did the most, had the most success, biggest launch grade, if you will. This year, I was expecting some things that we didn't necessarily get, but we did get some things. So I gave them a C+. I think they are one of the bows I'm intrigued by this year. I don't know that I'll really use the the cable guard adjustment tunability feature, but I like the other tunability features, and I was a little bit cautious on how well those would hold up, so I kind of wanted to wait a year and see what everybody else had, if they were having issues with that limb bolt coming out of tune. I don't know of anybody that had issues with that, so it seems like they knocked it out of the park last year. This year they've done a few new things. I like the pick mount on the front. That's a good upgrade. They cut some more weight out of it. I don't really care about that tunability on the wheel lean thing. I mean, it's cool, but it's like, does that make me want to run out? Not necessarily. I think the 33 ST2 was like, I'm gonna run out and buy that bow. It's got a lot of cool features, but I was just hesitant on the tunability and how well it'd last. That was just me personally. A lot of people bought them, loved them, had great success with them. So clearly it's a great bow. So a C+, not quite a B or anything like that, but it's very intriguing. So the PSE Sicario, at first I thought, man, they didn't really do much. Like, it's the exact same looking bow. It's slightly different, obviously, but there's really not much new to it. I was hoping, as much as I don't really care about the tunability stuff, this would have been a good year for them to do some tunability stuff. However, I went and shot it. I shot my arrows through it. I got my draw length, my speeds with that arrow. And I thought, man, that's pretty awesome. I gave them a B+. The speed with that cam that they redid is incredible. And the smoothness of the draw and getting that speed. I have two PSE carbon bows at the house. I love the PSE carbon. I think they dominate the carbon game. I think they're a great bow. I think they knocked it out of the park. Now, do I wish there was some other things? Sure. But as far as like things that get me excited, I'm not a speed guy, but when I look at my hunting setup and I could gain 10, 12 feet per second with my hunting arrow, that means a lot to me. So I'm pretty intrigued by that. I gave them a B+. Now, I did tell myself though, and everyone else, I don't think I'm gonna buy a PSE carbon bow this year, because I've got two. I've been hunting with them for years. They're great. I love them. I'm sure I'd love the Sicario, but I do want to try other things. I think you need to try other bows. I think you need to try other manufacturers and just try them all. So I'm going to try my best not to try the PSE Sicario, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. But that's my goal. I'm going to try not to shoot that this next year, even though I'm sure it's an awesome bow. I love it. It's the most intriguing bow. I just don't need another PSE carbon bow. I have two. There makes no sense to have three. Hoyt Alpha AX3. They got some good stuff going with that tunability. The negative, I don't know if anybody truly understands how to tune with it. I've tried to watch some videos that like Lancaster put out on like, this is how the tunability works on it. I can't, it's a lot of stuff going on. Maybe there's getting one in hand, somebody in person showing you how to do it, it'd be a little simpler. But to me, it's like, this is a very complex system to try to get some paper tears cleaned up. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I'm not a huge Hoyt guy, I will say that. But I did give them a B+. Speeds are good, colors are good. Again, I'm not a huge Hoyt guy, so I don't really ever feel like I'm going to run out and buy a Hoyt. Not any particular reason why. Just never. Hoyt's just not huge in this area. The few that are into Hoyt are like diehard Hoyt guys. It's just not a popular bow in this area for some reason. But there are people that shoot them, so it's just not something I'm really stoked about. But I think it is going to be a cool bow with all the tunability that they've done and the speeds that they're getting. Mathews Arc. This was the biggest letdown to me. Like of bows I thought were going to be awesome. I mean, what does it offer? You can angle the stabilizer if you want to. If you want to buy their expensive stabilizer, you can angle it down. So that's cool, I guess. The new color is cool, but I mean, if I had a Lift X, would I look at this and go, man, I got to run out and upgrade? I wouldn't. So I'm giving them a C. I mean, I do think they're probably getting a little more speed than they were getting out of the Lift. But I just don't see enough change. And again, I don't know what they could do. They've got the Lift was a great bow platform for the 2 years it was out there. They still have the tunability features, but I don't see enough change or upgrade to make me rush out and buy it. So I'm hitting them with a C. I'm sure it's a great shooting bow. I'm sure if you buy it, you're gonna love it. I'm not saying I wouldn't buy one. I'm just saying I don't see enough. I don't have a Lift X. I had a Lift and it was okay. I didn't shoot it great, but I don't see enough reason to upgrade from a Lift X to the Arc. That's just me. This is my personal opinion. Now, if I was shooting a V3X or VX3 or whatever it was, or Phase 4, and you're like, I might want to upgrade, sure, the Arc's probably a great bow. But to me, I just don't see a lot of change or upgrade from the old one. I'm sure there are some diehard Mathews guys out there that are going to just drag me in the comments for it, and that's okay. You're welcome to that opinion. Just my thoughts. I have shot it. It's a fine bow. I don't shoot a Mathews very well. I used to shoot a Mathews constantly and loved them, but this is my philosophy. Go try them all. Don't think Mathews puts more money into marketing than anybody, and I've shot Mathews. I like Mathews. I've many Mathews bows. My son shoots a Mathews. They put more into marketing than anybody, and they're good bows. But try some of the other ones. Try the Darton. Try the Prime. Try the Elite. And I'm not a huge Elite guy, but try it. I think that is something that we need to start doing more and stop being so like, I'm a Mathews guy, I shoot Mathews. That's all I shoot. I shot Mathews for a long time, and I thought I shot pretty good. Then I started shooting PSE, and I realized I like the back wall on that PSE more than I do that Mathews. And so I'm way more consistent with that PSE than I am that Mathews. I shoot it better. It's just, I think if everybody was willing to try some of the others and put some time into them, I think you would find out that maybe there's another bow out there that's not one of the top manufacturers that you go, man, I shoot this really good. And maybe it's not the flashy new one you're going to see on the YouTube hunting shows, but if it shoots the best for you, that's the one you need to go with. So that's just kind of my thoughts. I've shot most of these. I hadn't shot all of them, but I've shot most of them. And these are kind of my thoughts and opinions. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be pulling the trigger on my new bow of the year. I want you to stick around and see that. Like, subscribe, follow. If you're buying an e-bike, check out rambobikes.com. Use R Woods at checkout. Turkey season will be here before you know it. Scouting for turkey season will be here before you know it. Get you an e-bike so you're not having to make those long walks. You can go farther, get away from people. Rambo Bikes is going to be the best bet to get away from people. Appreciate you for watching. Have a good one. Hope you're having a good deer season. Mine has sucked. See ya.